Well, it was only a matter of time before I made this video. The day where I give my first impression on the hottest game out right now, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I've only done first impressions on a few games on my channel, so it's very impressive when I get this interested into a game where I want to talk about my hot takes as soon as I get my hands on something. It's no stranger to the volume of hype this game has going for it at the moment. The prequel of this game, Breath of the Wild, was the Game of the Year winner back in 2017 and really took a big step for the Switch when it first got released, showing off a new type of beat to the Zelda series we have never seen before. A big open world with unbelievable graphics and infinite possibilities to play the game. It was the recipe for success. So when the sequel came out, I had to get my paws on it. And I have to admit, I was not fascinated with the gameplay trailer direct that Nintendo put out for this game, so I was very hesitant about picking this game up. But talking to some of my best friends and just enjoying the talks we have in Discord about what we've been playing, we all agreed this is not a game that we should pass up. I mean, the game scores for this game is absolutely wild. From perfect scores to Metacritic even rating this a better score than a game that changed the gaming world as an Elden Ring. I had to bust out my almost vacant wallet and play this for myself. This game has been out for 3 days now to the public, and I've marked probably about 12 to 14 hours into this game. I've been basically just going around unlocking sky towers and filling out the map as much as possible and doing my shrines. I want you guys to keep in mind during this review a few things. Number one, I have not played Breath of the Wild. I know, Nintendo fanboys. Shh, relax. It is okay. Trust me. I'm kicking myself for not playing Breath of the Wild, but at the end of the day, some people just get busy and some people just might not think the game is interesting the first time it goes around, and by the time I really wanted to play it, it felt like it was too late. But I'm kicking myself for it, guys, so everybody breathe, okay? So keep this in mind when you listen to the first impressions. This is coming from someone who hasn't played the original Breath of the Wild. But to be honest, I've been rambling for a little too long. Let's just get into the first impressions of Tears of the Kingdom. Kicking it off into the first thing that slipped into my thoughts was I really liked the intro of the game and how it kicked off. Giving you a short little recap of where you left off from Breath of the Wild, the story, and a briefing of what to expect into the new story. And it shows why you lost your heart containers and the abilities you have, because you have to make it make sense about why you have to restart from scratch from the sequel to a game if you already journeyed into the past and did the work to get where you are now, etc., etc. And can we just talk about how beautiful the visuals for this game is? I mean, come on. This is the most impressive looking game I've seen from Nintendo since the Switch has been put out and released. From the cutscenes, the bodies of waters that you dive into, the textures on the objects, and attention to detail for all the side characters are absolutely fantastic, to say the least. After making your way through the intro and meeting the boss for the first time, the big leap that you make about to dive into the body of water and the Tears of the Kingdom logo popping up with the epic music playing had me smiling and excited to really dive into the Zelda experience. The creators of the game did a fantastic job to the intro of this game. As soon as you step foot onto Sky Island, teaching you the combat bases, I really appreciated the 3 tutorial shrines that they show you. Make you understand what tools you need and how to use them on your long journey. If you look at my first reactions to the gameplay of the game, I openly flamed this game for what they showed during the direct. The fuse mechanic didn't make sense and it just felt silly. The ultra hand and building your boats and whatever put me to sleep, and ascending just felt like a silly hack mechanic. I can honestly say after my reaction video that I'm completely ignorant for all those like assumptions, just because I haven't played the game before, maybe I don't quite understand. After using the abilities firsthand when you load up the game and then when you get the tutorial shrines done, everything feels great. I like assembling stuff and building new ways of transportation to get past a certain puzzle, or being able to fuse my weapons to make them absolutely powerful. Just finding random stuff into the world, because the possibilities just make it absolutely endless. They want you to open up your mind and have a game where you could just use your thoughts and just take that, and then just the rest is history. Building anything that you could possibly think of. And the Ascend has helped me out in so many situations, because trust me, I'm not a fan of climbing. I get a little anxious when I climb up these tall mountains and I always slip down and stuff like that. So being able to ascend here and there and find secret chests and be able to get on places that you haven't been able to before is actually very cool. So you guys got my apology, okay? I don't want to hear anything again. Nicktana just apologized. In the little bit of the game that I played, I've loved the side characters that I've ran into at the moment. They have really good voice acting that fits each character, and I just really like the designs of them. One of my favorites is King Rauru, probably saying that wrong, which is the GOAT literally and metaphorically, and Pura for reasons I will not say in this video, but to say the least, I love the characters I've seen so far and the backstory they have. The places on the starting island were beautiful, to the bodies of waters that you dive into, to the dark caves that you needed light to get through, to the freezing cold areas where you need to cook up pepper recipes to stay warm enough to get through. Everything has a flow to the game and nothing feels out of the ordinary of being there. I did find myself getting very frustrated at one point in my quick little experience, and that I'm still trying to learn as I'm continuing through the game, is just figuring out how to get from A to B in this game. On my way to the third shrine where you get the ascend ability, I was having an awful time making myself through the unbearable cold and trying to climb up the slippery sides of the mountain to get where I needed to be. But it proves that it's not a set path to get to location to location. The reason I say this is because I actually got a copy of the game from my wife, so we just kind of like, I have my copy, she has her copy, just so we can kind of both play at the same time whenever we want. And even just watching her play through and my play style, we just kind of like, we go and we do different things. She might figure out how to get to this location, how to get to her shrines a different way than what I do. When we were doing the tutorial island, I did the 3 shrines differently than what she did hers, which shows that like there's not really like a set linear path to everything, and I commend them for trying to do that. I like games that just let you be yourself and follow a path that you want to take or what you think is right. From the beginning of the game, I admire the amount of weapon choices that they give you. A lot of the times it could be sticks and branches, but with Fuse to combine these simple sticks you see at the beginning of the game and taking them to turn them into something more powerful, usable, and durable with the items they come off of enemies or rocks in the open world. It's nice to see those sticks and lower tier items being able to be used more often. They have spears in the game that you could use for long range combat, and the bow that's been making it a blast to use by adding things like the little bat wing that makes your arrow shoot faster, or the eyeball that makes you not be able to miss your target, fire fruit to solve puzzles and to set your enemies on fire. That really changed the gameplay mechanics to keep the fighting fresh and not stale at times. Another side thing that I really like that a lot of people already probably know about is I really love the horses in this game. It's being able to ride them around to get to certain places very fast. Oh, and the very cool shield skateboard thing that they added was super sick to see and was very cool to just be able to ride around. Okay, so you're probably thinking it's all great and perfect, but I do have some things I want to get off my chest that I didn't like in the game. Lightning. Was this just the worst thing ever? I've died so many shitty times to lightning in this game. It's terrible. Why does it have to shock you even when stuff is on the ground and you don't even have it in your hands? Multiple times I've beaten bosses, and right when I beat the boss, it drops a crap ton of items and I just die to lightning because of the items that it dropped, and I couldn't get away in time because I'm sitting there trying to collect them. That just doesn't make sense. It does not. It blows my mind. It absolutely blows my mind. I would have to redo the boss fight. There was a boss fight I had to redo twice due to just dying in lightning. Like, where is the sun in this area? Another thing is how easy some things in this game can just one hit knock you out. Yes, I am aware that different areas will have different level enemies and different level bosses, but the fact these things were hitting me for 4 hearts right off the rip make absolute 0 sense. I had to basically be perfect each boss fight. If there is a way to affect this, someone let me know. Honestly, I'm curious if I need different armor or another item to prevent this, because I'm just too frail. And I promise you, if someone comments to take a shower, I'm gonna seriously rip your Anyways, guys, that's been my first impressions for Zelda, the Tears of the Kingdom. Hopefully you guys had a good time watching this video. I'm having a really good time with the game. Honestly, my expectations going in were a little iffy, but with all the hype around it and me actually picking it up, I can understand why people really do love this game. And like I said before, I really am kind of ashamed I didn't play the first one, but this game has been freaking awesome. But to be honest, this is very early into my review. Things might change. Let me know what you guys think. Be safe. Tell someone you love them. I'm out. Later.